Good morning, Facebook and Instagram family. Thank you for joining me this morning, man, for another episode of Back to the World. My brother and my sister's keeper. I'm Tony, and thank you guys for coming on board. If you have any comments, questions, anything that you care to share, hit me in the boxes down below, and we're gonna try to get this thing started. I have a guest that I'm going to try and a guest rather that I'm gonna a guest. I said it right the first time. That I'm gonna try to bring on board, Mr.Jesse Cage, and I'm gonna try to get him in here. Okay. But in the meantime, man, thank you guys. Pardon the noise. We don't have any music, so we don't have to worry about our rights or whatever the situation may be. Let me see. Nola friend join. Okay, let me wave at you here. Good morning to you. I was going to do a presentation where I was actually going to walk through our compensation, our procedure, and then show you our compensation plan. But we somewhat getting a late start here. Thank you guys. Okay, yeah. Thank you for coming on board, man. This is our time, man. Things are happening right now in society. When we first started Sonetquity, we really started it. At one point, it was ahead of our time, right? Then it became a situation where we was almost behind our time because everyone was feeling a certain way about network marketing and the whole bit because cryptocurrency had taken off so big, and everybody was fascinated by cryptocurrency. Well, now with everything that's going on in the United States, everything that's going on in America with black people, with us, everything that's going on with all the other countries and our country, we are right on time. Okay? We are right on time. And I just really want to try and bring people on board. So hold on just a second, you guys. Trying to get Jesse on here.
My bad. I get on it now. You on there already?
Yeah, I'm on. Let me see if I can hang up and bring you in. All right.
All right. Well, I'm about to request now. I'm about to go on my live.
All right. Which one you going? You going Instagram or Facebook? Instagram.
I'm on Instagram.
Okay, good.
Right here. So I'm right here. I'm looking at you.
Okay then. All right. All right. Yes. We're trying to get. Okay. Here go. Trying to go live with my brother here. Okay, Jay, I'm working with you here. Trying to get you on board, brother. Sound like I hear you coming in, huh?
Yeah, nah. I'm in.
Okay, shit, I'm looking for you. Okay. Huh?
I'm on the screen with you now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm looking at you. The double. That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
You be the worst people trying to go live together. I can't believe you can't see me, man.
I know, bruh. I don't see you. Hold on. But you see me, though, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you see me, the rest of the audience sees us together.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't see me. You just see each other.
Man, I just never know how to do this junk, man. It said invite to join, suggest. This is crazy. I don't want to screw it up. I want to keep.
Screw it up. We must both be live together.
Yeah.
See it both.
Okay. Well, since we both here, then that's all that matters, man. I'm just I can't get us in here. I'm
I
having a
guess you're on Facebook, huh?
no. I'm on Instagram. Where we are, where you and I are. I'm on
Yep,
this.
I got a message from your phone.
Oh, that's
One
me.
new
Yeah.
message.
Okay. I see the two of us. I see our name here. Say Tony Ford and richest in the
Riches in the
world.
world.
Right. I just don't see us together. That's okay. We're not
Let's
gonna.
roll, man.
Yeah. But anyway, man, look, we're here, and all the other pages, man, they're listening to us the whole bit. So, man,
Yeah, you good at it, man.
so let's chop it up this
So,
morning, ladies and gentlemen.
so,
I got
so,
Mr. Jesse Cage from Lush and Wealthication, and
okay, I'm drinking some lunch.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So, we wanted to get you on, and we wanted to have a conversation on
Okay,
the state, but we're talking about, we want to talk about the state of our world as a people today
okay,
and what we can do in terms of giving ourselves a chance, giving ourselves an opportunity. You know what I
okay.
mean? So, man, take the flow, and then we gonna cut in. I know you have good questions, bro. So we gonna ride, all right?
Okay, but for the record, let me say this, because I gotta do something, so I ain't gonna be able to stay that long. But we can just roll like we usually do. So you say it's about how can we create opportunities for ourselves or for our communities? That what you was pretty much saying. State of
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. But anything you want to talk about, we gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about you want to talk about Mr. Ford. You know, that's a good topic. I think that's what people like me, you, and a bunch of other people been doing. Just every day, just waking up. Extending their plan. Looking at things where things could be better off, not just for us as individuals, but for our community. You know what I'm saying? That's a community in the physical world, like your city, your neighborhood, or your online platform. Where I think that's where the real potential at, because you're unlimited when you got the online platform like Sonetquity and different things of that nature, because you ain't got no end. You only can go so far in the physical community, but you can go even further in the community because you got people that's always could extend to different physical communities.
Right.
So I think that's a great state of mind, because like we always talk about, we need business that can feed off each other. Everybody will call up into being an entrepreneur, where most people today, I say, is more into just retail. We got people into every layer now.
Right.
But I'm big on looking at a quiet storm. What I mean by a quiet storm, I had a plan for this New Orleans East, and I was just looking at life like, once I got really where I want to get it, I want to present it in a quiet manner. Where they say this East is going to be rebuilt, but if we don't build this New Orleans East up ourselves, we know we're gonna build it for us, and then we're gonna have no control again, right?
Right.
I was thinking if we had different, like how y'all got, we build certain little planks, warehouses that get big contracts with big companies, and we build our own technology, AI, and so far and so on. So what we doing is we got established businesses that's gonna hire people in the community, and then that way we build our community up on the backs of the people that already got big companies, like the canned good companies, any type of company that's gonna need more work done. But we build our community based on the establishment of contracts, right? Now what happens is when you think about a major level, you think about it, everybody won't start their own business, right? I'm gonna start this problem, I'm gonna start that. Why we don't focus more, like you're saying, on a community-based business that got multiple warehouses dealing with manufacturing, then we got our own distribution, so we take it from them, we learn it what to create through their system, and now we can go into retail. That's just a form of what I was, plotting on doing, just looking at it from a perspective. We just focus on the New Orleans East, because they pushed all us out from the city limits, like from uptown and downtown so far, so why not monetize that east?
Okay. So I want to ask the question. See, when you say when you say things were predicated in the past on large contracts and getting different types of contracts and business deals. Okay. Now, with this cabinet that's in the White House right now, they are eliminating a lot of the large contracts that has sustained a lot of wealthy blacks right now as we know it.
Okay.
And see, that's what they're doing. They're cutting out the contracts. You don't have many. All government contracts that's going to black folk, they're going to be the first contracts to go.
Mm,
So now, if we're not being assisted by getting these contracts and everything, how would you suggest that we start our own? And I'm going to give you an idea. I'm going to give you what my thoughts are on it, but just let me hear your thoughts, because now we have to move as a people, and we
yeah.
still have to move and learn as them. So what do you say about
Right.
that?
Well, they go back to that. They go back to we had to cut that out because I wasn't aware that they was canceled contracts with a lot of companies. But I mean, you have to go to a lot of private companies that might want to do business behind the scenes with you outside of that policy. I don't know the manner how that policy is structured. They working on or they already cut out. So that's I mean we had to just do like me and a lot of people talk about. I mean the Black Wall Street was built off the in-house wealth of the people in the community. But the only difference now and then, I think blacks that got more cocky than we was then. Mean like, back then when they was building their community up, they didn't show their wealth. So they was still working for the white man, playing their
Right,
position.
right,
But now when we get our first $100,000 million, we showing the world we got. And once you show the world you got, then it's great to inspire the next people that need that motivation and hope. But now it's like nobody want to deal with you until a certain extent. I ain't gonna say nobody want to deal with you. So that's the only thing I see different then and different now. So I don't really know the answer, to be honest, because I was only looking at that plot
Li-
when you go into more established companies and you let them know I got manufacturing build, not build, but you got everything that you feel like they now we know they sell all this shop in third world country, not just but to the country that's gonna do it cheaper. But we have to build really cutting edge technology where it's gonna be cost efficient, where we can still beat out the numbers in our own country. You know what I'm saying? That makes
See,
sense.
let me share this with you. I think that many of us have a great idea. Many of us have a great idea on what needs to be done,
Yeah.
on what we need to do as a people. And the first thing that is coming together. Everybody say we got to come together and we got to build, but nobody actually give a blueprint step by step, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna toss this at you, and then moving forward, you can put this in your file cabinet, and then
Okay.
when you talk about us coming together like you're suggesting, now you literally have a blueprint and you know what to start. In other words, you'll be able to put your ingredients to
Right.
the ultimate product. All right. So keep in mind, first and foremost, we spend 1.7 trillion dollars back into
Okay.
this economy as a people, as a black people, right? We spend 1.7 trillion dollars, and I'm not talking about paying your car note, paying your home, your mortgage, and taking care of your utilities. We spend 1.7 trillion dollars on entertainment, luxury goods, travel, and bullshit. All right,
Right.
1.7 trillion. If we were a country, we would be the 10th wealthiest country economically in the world.
Right.
So that
Right.
means that there's only 9 other countries that are more industrious or wealthier than we are as a people. And now
Right.
keep in mind, we only make up 4%. Some people say 13, but I know we're populating. So you only make up 14% of the United States population. We make up 14%. So we are pretty small considering. But
Right.
but we spend the most annually, right? Now, this is where the rubber is getting ready to meet the road.
Okay.
I think that if we sacrificed, and see, we know we don't want. What I don't want me and you to get into, and you know how we talk. I don't want to get into I don't think we can get everybody to do it, so I don't think it's going to work. No, right now we're talking about only from a working perspective. We already know that a lot of motherfuckers can't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
Right. Right.
so
Right.
we don't want to talk about. I know people say, man, it sounds like a good idea, but I don't think it's going to work. It only works if you make it work. It starts off with one, right? So now, what we do, Jay, and I want you to expound on it while you have the time. So I'm gonna hurry up and put it forward. So now, if we sacrifice one full year, and we spend, and don't get me wrong, black folks are having money. Money is circulating through our community, be it legal or illegal. Money is circulating. People are finding a way to get the things that they want. Most of us, anyway. So what you do is you sacrifice one full year, and we galvanize and place that $1.7 trillion into an investment account. And since we want to do all things black right now, because that's what we're talking about, we're not going to go with Fidelity or Vanguard. We're going to go with Ariel Investments with Mr. John Rogers and Melanie Hopkins. They're in Chicago. So there will be somewhat of our central bank. Now, we can call it a reparations for those who like that name. I don't like that name. And see, Trump is talking about giving white folk reparations right now. He's not talking about giving reparations to black folk. I don't believe in begging my captor for my freedom. Right. I don't believe in it. I believe in either escaping or overtaking them or whatever the situation may be. But, however, we're going to spend that $1.7 trillion and we're going to invest it. We're going to invest that $1.7 trillion with Ariel. Ariel has been in business for almost 40 years. They have never taken a loss in their 40-year existence. They give anywhere between a 8% and a 30% return annually on their investment. So, for sake of this discussion, we're going to put it towards the bottom. And let's say every year they're going to give a return of 10%. 10% of $1.7 trillion, right, is $107 billion. Now, we have 50 states. 50 states would get a fund, which would be $2 billion a state for the black community, for the black people. But keep in mind, states like Wyoming, Montana, Alaska, Hawaii, they don't have enough blacks to get $2 billion, so they don't have no really big black community. So therefore, that money is going to go back into the lower 48 states. So now, at the end of that year, $2 billion will be allocated to those 48 states to support our black communities and now do what Jesse is saying. You got $2 billion to do this. We're going to build stores. We're gonna build retail stores. We're gonna have loans where you can get affordable housing. If you have a job that you've been on for 2 years, that's gonna be your credit. You don't have to go to. That's gonna be like our central bank, something that you're very familiar with, right? So now we'll apply to that central bank for a home. Our job is our credit. We've been on a job for 2 years. Now, once they see that they can prove we've been on the job for 2 years, they're going to do a voucher. So now Jesse Cage is going to look for a house for $175,000 that fits his income. They're going to buy that property and hold the deed, but you're going to pay the mortgage. Now you want to start a business. You don't have the money, but you have the expertise or whatever to start the business. So now that company, that whoever's over our funding are going to take an equitable position in your business. They are going to be paid a percentage until you work and pay them off, and now the business is outright yours. We don't need to go to our government and ask for monies to go to our black colleges anymore, because now we have the people earning money. We can pay. We done already put that into our fund. We're going to commit to paying these black colleges. Every year we get our funding, we are going to now fund our black colleges. And this is how we develop our communities, and we do this in all 50 states in all impoverished black communities. We don't have to ask the government for nothing, and now we have a fund to cover all of our people when they get sick, like Medicare. And then guess what happens in 365 days? We get another $2 billion back into our community, and we have not touched our principle. I know you can expound on that because me and you have talked about this for the longest time, and this is what your wealthification is all about. So now, this is what we can do on a grander scale. But in the meantime, now what do we do with our people to sustain them in their everyday life?
Well, like you just said, I'm glad you know that because I think on my end and your end, we both have everything we talk about as diagrams, blueprints, whatever, right?
Right.
So, like you always talk about, one of the best things would be for most people will be looking into Sonetquity, like me you talk about, right? Because
right.
Sonetquity is sustainable for really the cost efficient price.
Right.
The sign up fee. They got multiple products. You got now. You got, I won't mention it because you may be settling different, subsidiaries.
Nah, we good.
But, so meaning, they take a look at Sonetquity. They come to wealthification, get educational, with education tools on what could better them, right?
Right.
And I think really it's all about, like right now we're talking a good game. We just gotta have more meetings. Like just having one big meet with this big concept.
Right.
And then you attract the right, because we know we need other real leaders. Like people always try to tell you, well, I don't think it's gonna work. We ain't worried about everybody getting on there at one time. We talking about a small group of people, because blacks that been unified themselves together. You just don't see it in the public. Like when you was doing your thing, like you were telling me, you had a group of other black guys you was associated with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
That means people look at it from a blind eye, and they're always quick to tell you, well, they ain't gonna work because they know it ain't gonna work because that's what they believe. But man, you understand that it's nothing to have at least 5 people to start with. 5 people to start, and we grow that group out, varies into different, cities from. If we talking real, I'm in New Orleans, you in Houston.
Right.
There's nowhere in the world in a period of time we ain't got enough people that's lined up from this area to Houston. That's
right.
the starting point.
Right.
Because we know that it takes time to build it, and what we doing is just showing the world a concept. But if you got enough people that trust not me and you, they trust area investments with our own sovereign wealth fund.
Yeah. Hold on just a second.
He wasn't gonna be able to come today. I ain't just want to hold on to it.
You sure?
I mean,
what happened?
Nah.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna come back and get you.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm still here, Jay. Jay, I'm here. Can you hear me?
What happens is,
yeah,
I'm back on. What happens is, people trust people. So when people see the concept, it's polished up. They know this ain't got so negative.
Right.
Well, the case. We're not dealing with your money. We just directing your money into a trust account that's going to actually pay out this type of money every year, so you get a feedback from all your money yearly. So how can it not work? Because not people can still do their regular day-to-day job, be entrepreneurs, businessmen, sign up with Sonetquity, sign up whatever they want to sign up, because now the money is circulating in the community. So before you spend money, right?
Right.
Money being invested for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So before I go buy the new car, the new designers, that fund might be invested to, because a fund, pretty much an area fund is diverse. It ain't like you just did it with one stock. You did it, so now the money already working itself.
Right.
So anybody got economic sense like us totally understand it without any of us really agree to disagree. It's a systematic system that just had to be implemented a little bit more. Like we talk about nowadays, we just don't talk about this enough.
That's exactly what the case is, Jesse, and you hit it dead on the head. As a second tier, that's what we need to do in the coming of together. Because see, we would have to mobilize the people and get them on the same page. And what you said is do more presentations and more meetings like this, and bring everybody on board. Then that's the way you get people, one person at a time. You see, and I think that an event that you just went to this past couple of weeks, that's a perfect example of what's the good and the bad right? And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by it. Doesn't mean bad. I don't mean bad as What's good is you had a group of people, and I'll let Mr. Cage expound a little bit on that. All right, you had a group of people that are well versed in this network marketing industry. And I told you, ladies and gentlemen, one way we're going to get out of this predicament that we're in is by joining forces and really taking a strong look at network marketing, because this is what has sustained empires throughout our existence. Network marketing. And see, Mr. Cage went to a program. I mean, he went to a fund and a presentation where network marketing was prevalent, right? Now, the only thing that I see is that each of these people were telling you what it's like to join forces and how you can earn residual income and how you can come together that way. But Mr. J, what they did not do, they did not give you a defining blueprint on what each of those people, if they came together with different companies, they did not tell them what they should come together ultimately and do. Am I correct?
I guess I ain't looked at it from that perspective.
Yeah, they didn't do it. They didn't tell you that, okay, this is what we all going to do is sustaining as a people. See, because if I'm on here right now, I don't care whether they join my company or yours. I want them to see the big picture, because ultimately at the top we're going to need to come together in order for all of us to survive. See, we have a tendency to think when they talk about Black Wall Street, they talk about Black Wall Street in a way to make you think that all these black people that was in Oklahoma, every last one of them was smart. And they sat down when they all came together in their community. They said, hey, you know what? Let's come together and let's get rich and let's build all our own businesses and let's live separately from these white folk. Right? This is what everyone thinks. But that's not the case. The case is this. These poor black people that lived amongst these white folk, they wanted to live amongst these white folk. Excuse me. They wanted to shop at their stores. These white folk forbidded them to shop at their stores, to come in their businesses, and even to live around them. So these black people became successful in spite of themselves. Their backs was forced against the wall, to whereas if they wanted to dress nice and they saw a nice dress or a nice suit at that white store, they couldn't go in and buy it. So because the white folk forced them into a corner, they said, you know what? If we want to wear nice clothes, we have to build our own stores. If we want to eat good food, we have to build good food stores. We want our cars worked on, we have to build mechanic shops. So they did that because they was forced to. And in the process of constantly shopping with one another, that's how they became wealthy. And now they were able to start their own colleges and everything else. Think about it when you go to your barber. Your barber probably been cutting hair 10 years, 15 years, or whatever. He don't have to advertise in Chicago. He don't have to get on social media and advertise for people to come to his business that don't live in his business. Everybody that kept him going and kept him going for the past 30 years, they live right there in his community, Jay, right? So that's a perfect example of how the money circulate within our community. Those people come every week. You know, your wife, your girlfriend, your daughter, your sister, they go to the hair salon every week, every 2 weeks. The same 50 people, the same 60 people. And that's them regenerating and recycling, coming back around. That is how Black Wall Street became famous. You know, they didn't have a great plan. They didn't sit down and had a plan. They had a situation first. They had to find a way to solve that situation second. Third, they attacked the situation and they build. Give me what you think.
Well, I always thought they had the one guy that bought the lane back then, had bought the lane out of the vision intention of doing it. JW, what his name, one of the main leaders to the blueprint, I guess. But we understand that, history is always sometimes like written out different people's perspectives.
Right.
Which ain't part of the moment. But the thing I tell people today is, maybe I don't know this part. They were telling me about a couple of weeks ago that we were going to go in Target and
Right.
all these stores. And I'm like, okay, I get it what the end game is. Okay.
What is it?
We
Right.
show them that we get $8 or whatever the case may be. I'm with it.
Right.
But what the end plan is, and nobody can tell me because I don't know who started or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But
right.
the thing is this. What we gotta realize, like I just was saying, and it's very vital to understand this. It's not that we got more cocky and more flamboyant now than we was 100 years ago, whatever the case may be. We don't have the true, what can I say? Not just the infrastructure, but we don't have the true departments we need. Being like, we almost got our own supermarket store. We got more people got clothing lines, necessities. Shit, but we talking about fucking having another Target or Walmart, with Dixon. See, we missing that still.
Right.
So it's like if we gonna build inside of our own, like we talk about Black Wall Street, we gotta have that first, because we know we need food. You got some blacks got phones, so phone life is real vital.
Right.
So
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm
glad you brought that up. I'm gonna expound on that when you're done. Go ahead.
So if you ask me or you, the best thought would be more on our end, trying to create stuff that's gonna generate more revenue, so the revenue can go, and then we could build out, in certain cities. And maybe they might have it. Like I said, I might be ignorant. Maybe I just don't know. We don't have our own, food supply chain. We don't have our own phones. We don't have our own goddamn hospitals per se. Banks is key. Universities. So I ain't saying that's limited us, but when we compare the era now to do this monkey junkie process, what is gonna help us at? That's all I want to know. I want the movement, but tell me, I put myself in position not to go to Target. Can I go to a black Target? Or can I go to a black Walmart? We don't have that.
Right. Right.
And that's the biggest lack that we face.
Now,
nobody want to really talk about it. Everybody get emotional. We don't need this shit. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Right.
Okay, but what the end game is? We gotta have an end game. You gotta get game. What the play is about?
None of our people, I'm gonna name, and look, I know this is on me. This ain't on you. You see, all of our leaders, and when we say who are our leaders, those who have the voices, those who have thousands upon hundreds of thousands and million followers, those who are on here every day talking about the black culture, talking about the black communities, these are our leaders. People like Dr. Boyce Watkins, people like Dr. Umar Johnson, people like John Hope Bryant, even people like Mr. David Whitehead. They can all tell you how to get money individually, dealing with banking and the whole 9 yards. But even to do that, you need money to start with. So, you don't just do it with osmosis from dust. So all of these people are giving you good information if you're in a financial situation to start. But nobody's telling you the grassroots. And even my partner, Mr. Ron Busby, he's the chairman of the National Black Chamber of Commerce in the United States. And he has over 500,000 members, I'm sure. But all these people are concerned about is starting businesses to where they get wealthy and they be able to support their family. That would be a good starting point, because you got 500,000 people that you can give the same message and they will come together, or you will do your best to bring them together. There's no guarantee. So now, he's more political. So he was challenging the don't shop at Targets and different things, because see, he was aligning different businesses with these contracts with Walmart, Amazon. He was doing Targets. He was doing that. That's what he does, right? Well, now when they're not abiding and they're cutting DEI, now you want to try and try to hurt their pockets. But keep in mind, You can't hurt Target. And what happens is this. We would spend 2 days not shopping at Target, and then Target would hold a 50% off sale as soon as your program ends. And now everybody's going to be in there double time. So they're going to make back up what they lost on those 2 days. So it's a vicious cycle. It's a moot point. You solve nothing. Right?
So you just give the answer.
Right. You solve nothing. So now, let me tell you, going to what you're saying. See, with that same demonstration that I just gave you with the $1.7 trillion, all right? Now, you have funding to do this. So now, what hurts most black stores is that small stores. We don't have no distribution, as you stated, and that's a fact. But let's say little small mom and pop stores that they used to have in our neighborhoods when we were growing up. Mr. and Mrs. Lou's Grocery.
Right.
Well, see, we don't have that anymore because we can't. Those little mom and pop stores can't compete with the likes of Sam's, Costco, and Walmart. They can't compete with them, right? So now, one of the first things that you do in order to sustain all of the black communities, the first thing you want to do is put some type of food store within that community.
Yeah.
What you do now, you formulate. If all the money's in Chicago, let's pick a city or state. It don't matter. So let's say we pick Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas, you're going to open up 4 distribution centers where we have the money now. See, when you have the money, they don't care who comes in. Right now, Jay-Z himself could start a food distribution center. And what you do, you be located in New York, but you have 4 regions on which you distribute. And now you will buy foods from the same places that Winn-Dixie and all these other big supermarkets, Walmart, buys their food from. You're getting it for almost the same price. Right. When you're getting it at the same price, now you have distributors that can get it to these stores, and you have the 18-wheelers that's going to do that. You have the north, south, east, and west. So now all the mom and pop store, all the mom and pop stores within those lower communities, these 18-wheelers are going to deliver it to them from their distribution center. And they're going to fund those little mom and pop stores. So now we don't have to catch a bus to ride to Walmart. We don't have to drive and spend our gas going to any of these types of stores, because now we have our own stores. So next, what you do, you open up a Jesse's Foodorama. Right? And now Jesse has a Foodorama, and now you have one big black supermarket that is handling all the different types of meats and produce. Now you're buying with this $1.7 billion, with the $2 billion going to your community. Now with these warehouses, you're buying up all the produce and distributing the produce for our black farmers. You see? So now you're not just there as a figurehead. You're there and you're making money, and you're supplying produce and foods to our black communities. So that solves our food problem. You see what I'm saying? Fresh vegetables and everything. And that's the way it has to be done. Okay, so now our leaders aren't telling you this. They're saying, well, we need to do, but they're not laying it out step by step how we're doing right now.
Too much talking, you ask me.
Definitely too much talking and not enough doing. And anytime you get a group of people to come together, man, and everybody don't have an opportunity to do that. That's why I say that demonstration that you went to, that's monumental. Because everybody that you had in that room want to elevate. But all they're telling them on how to elevate is just one way. But you need to tell them what the end game is. Now you have more of a desire. You know that. Put it this way. When you play football, you start at the 20-yard line if you took a kickback. Right. So now you know that you got to do a bunch of things to get to that end zone. That end zone is where the money is. That end zone is where you're scoring. So now all the little things that you do, you join Lush, you join Wealthication, you join Sonetquity. All you're doing now is running plays. Right?
That's right.
You gaining 20 yards, you gaining 50 yards. But ultimately, everybody wants to get in that end zone. And when everybody reaches that plateau, now this is the big game. This is the Super Bowl, and we playing for all the marbles, and that's to save us as a people. And that's how you do it now, because at that point, all of the teams are on the same page at that point.
Right.
You see?
I tell you what, man, I wish I had more time. I gotta go and get on this call, man.
I understand, brother. I appreciate you.
Got on earlier like we had planned on, man.
Right.
It's an interesting damn conversation, man.
Hey, you know what? Don't worry about it. Lord willing, we're gonna pick up where we left off, all right?
Okay, all right. Thanks for inviting me on again,
All right, man.
Everybody else out there.
All right, brother. All right, one love, brother. Peace.
One love. All right.
All right. Yeah. So, you know, you gotta have an end game. You just can't tell people to come together. You just can't say don't shop at Target, don't shop at Walmart, don't shop with Amazon. Only a few days later to shop at Walmart, Target, Amazon, and the likes. You see, we have to be dedicated to whatever our plans are. And listen, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but sometimes a person who's suffering the most, who's thriving the least, that's the person that can give those who are in a better position an understanding, an idea or a mindset on what a people needs, right? So sometimes people who are suffering are the ones that can give you the answer to overcome it. And you know, I'm not saying that I'm suffering like that, but you got to keep in mind, I've done 25 years, man, on 4 life sentences. And many people thought that I would never come home. And to many people looking from the outside looking in, it would appear that I was never coming home. But I've always had the faith that I was coming home. From the day that judge told me that I had 4 life sentences, I couldn't let myself sink. I couldn't let myself bleed into that mindset. So I kept the mindset that I was coming home. And there were situations where I would have conversations with people, and people, you know, you call them haters. And you got to understand, misery loves company. So when guys would see me going to the library every day and working on my case and trying to figure things out, you literally had a few guys say, man, Mr. Ford or Tony, man, you ain't going home, man. You might as well come on and play you might as well learn how to play chess. You might as well, man, play basketball, man. Come on the field and just kick it with us. Or you need to go ahead and join our religion. Or you need to join our gang. You know, and these, I'm telling you, these were people that had done a lot of time, had life, and some guys did. See, guy had 20 years, he didn't have life. But he had 20 years and he was relatively young. With proper health and prayer, you're going to see a day out of here. All these guys did, man, was try to keep up with what was going on TV, on videos, and the penitentiary politics. They didn't care about anything else. But all they know is that you have an L. And they'll tell you that, man, you ain't going home, man. You're going to always be here. And, you know, that would hurt your feelings. And sometimes if you get outside of your character, it'll make you want to hurt someone. And then they're absolutely correct. Then you won't go home. You feel me? So I never bought into it. I was in there, but not of there. You see, I didn't let the life that goes on in prison seep into my blood, into my blood veins, right? So I just think that you people really need to take a truly long, hard look at what I have built in terms of Sonetquity. And many of you can operate this probably far better than me. You see, in other words, I may have built a wonderful relationship. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you? I may have built the perfect vehicle that can take us and catapult us to where we need to be. but I may not be the voice to get us there. See, I have those who possibly can articulate what I built far better than me, right? They may have the ear to the people. It's a team effort. And how that saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. It definitely does. And see, we get so concerned on wondering whether or not the product is good, whether or not I can use the product. Look, I gave you an example of these people in Iran. They're Muslim, and they saw a product that was cosmetics. His wife did not wear makeup. His daughters did not wear makeup, but he saw that it was a good vehicle to get them out of poverty. When he did it, they made $16 million in 9 months. Right? So when Nina Totenberg on NPR asked him, was the product good? He said, what do you mean, was it good? He said, well, I mean, did you use the product? He said, no, I don't wear makeup. But on the other hand, the product was great. She said, well, why do you say it was great? Because it was a vehicle to get my people out of poverty, and it worked. So in many instances, you don't need to worry about the product. You don't need to worry about whether or not it works. If the system works and it can sustain you and elevate you financially. There are many people out here that want to give and donate to different college programs. And you know what? Those who have the least amount of money are the ones that want to contribute to an institution of higher learning, black hospitals, black art. It's the ones who have the least amount of money. So the first place you start is providing a way for those people that's lacking finances, an opportunity to earn finances. The more people you make wealthy, put it that way, the more people you make wealthy, that's more donors that you have to give, more contributions. So you start with the people. You start with the people. You don't tell the people, okay, it's gonna cost you $5,000 for me to teach you how to make money. And then after I teach you how to make money, now you're gonna need money in order to do this program that I'm telling you. See, that's the wrong approach. That's the wrong approach. Now keep in mind, to join my program, it costs $65 to become a member, and you get a book of the month, whatever that book may be. I'm just holding up my book, but if this was the book of the month, this is what you would get your first month, right? You'll pay $65 for that. You deduct the price of the book because you paid for that book. We are a private book club. So after that, 25 of your dollars are to support and sustain your downline. My company only gets $5 for facilitating the system and the process. You sign up 5 other members. Your 5 members do the same thing. When you fill your genealogy, which is your downline, you will receive $19,525 for your fulfillment. You can sign up 5 people or you can sign up 5,000. It doesn't matter. It works best when everybody signs up 5. And I did that for point of reference. Okay? Every month, your subscription, your membership fee is $65. That $65 will be deducted from your account by our system. You don't have to go in your pockets and pay anything. So you want to sign up enough people that will sustain your monthly membership. And when we first started, people had problems because they hadn't signed up anyone, right? These people hadn't signed up. My camera went out, y'all. Hold on just a second. Anyway, we're going to continue. I'm going to try something here. Bear with me a second, y'all. sorry about that. You know, we're dealing with real time, guys, and I'm pushing the envelope, but I want to. Hopefully, we'll get started again here. So there we are. So now you sign up your 5 members, and your 5 members, they sustain your monthly. You need at least 13 people to pay your monthly fees, and that's 13 people within 5 levels. All right. But what happens is these people couldn't sign up anyone, and then by the next month they had to pay their membership fee, which is another $65. So people become disenchanted. You know, when things work, all you want to be certain is that things work. And if things work, continue to pursue it. But when they couldn't sign up anyone, they gave up. And they will be quick to say that our system didn't work. No, our system works. You have to meet the requirements of the system. Okay? So this is how we do it now. What we do is this. I will consult you. Let's say you're interested in signing up. You're interested in becoming a member. Well, what you do is this. You build your downline before joining, right? Just a second. You build your downline before joining, all right? And you get all of your people, you line up. In other words, it's like this. You line all your ducks up in a row. And however you keep up with it, this is your club. This is your organization. So however you do it, in other words, you will be the one that will present this to your cast of people. So who's ever going to be directly under you, you sign them up. And you build a chart or a graph. You can go on your cell phone and build it, or you can build it on a whiteboard, or you can get your paper and pencil and get your notepad. And what you will do sequentially, you will put your name at the top of the group. When you sign your name at the top, then you're going to sign the next 5 people that's going to be directly under you. Right? So then your next 5 people are going to put 5 people beneath them. You're going to build this up sequentially. And you're going to do it for 5 levels. Now once you see that you have filled out your 5 levels with all your members, now you join. And let me show you something. When you join today at 9 o'clock. Your next 5 will join at 10 o'clock. The 3rd level will join at 11 o'clock. The 4th level will join at 12. And the final level, which is level 5, will join at 1. At 2 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen, that person that started that downline, at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m., they would have earned $19,525. And they'll be ready to rejuvenate and come back around for the following day. And each of the other ones who signed under them, they're putting their name at number 1. They're doing the same thing you did. Each of the ones that signed up under you, and they're going 5 levels. All right? And that's the way you get it going. And now you got the wheel rolling. Right? And this is the way you'll feel real good about it, because it's almost unbelievable. You have received almost $20,000 in less than 4.5 hours. I'm not making this up, y'all. Right? And now, if we can get enough people earning $20,000 a month, if we can get enough people earning $20,000 a month, now we've planted the seed for our financial freedom. We planted the seed for our salvation as a people. Now, all those people that are earning $20,000 a month or whatever the situation may be, because it's going to pick up and you're going to earn more, there's nothing for them to contribute. It's only right that we ask them to donate $2,000, $1,000, heck, $500. They're not they're not obligated now. But I told you, those who have the least want to give the most. So now we put them in positions to give. And after you've reached 5 levels, you don't have to sign up anyone else, man, and you're going to automatically get paid. Your money goes directly into your account every day. Every day, funds are going into your account. All right? Every day. And at the end of that circulation, you do what's called the rejuvenation, and you start all over again. I'm gonna give a live demonstration in the coming days, and I want you to see the way our system works, and I want you to see our compensation plan. What I was talking about with my brother Jesse a minute ago, he went to a big event in Atlanta, Georgia, about 2 weeks ago, and it was hosted and presented by Mr. Devin Crump, right? Mr. Crump is the owner and CEO of a company called Rain. Rain distributes and manufacture and distribute female sanitation products, right? Female pads. And I know it sounds crazy, whatever, man, but this is a great product because I mean it soaks up all the liquid, and it keeps you dry, right? And it's hyperallergenic. You don't get as many diseases or infections that all of these perfume sanitary pads that will cause our women. So that's the product that he markets. All right. Mr. Crump is well known in the network marketing industry. So what he did, he brought all the other big players together. Many of these different companies, man, they're selling weight loss product. They're doing Forex, cryptocurrency, the whole bit. Every last one of these companies are successful in their own right. And what I mean by successful is the fact that they have members and they're earning monies. So everyone came together pretty much. When you think about it, you have maybe 5 or 6 different companies there. And each of these people, they're not really there. You got to understand, it becomes a Jedi mind trick. They're there to tell each and every one of you the benefits of joining a network marketing company. They're showing you the results on when you're successful and when you're a great earner, right? And they're not half-stepping. They're not faking. They're very, very successful. I mean, they're presenting to you their look of success. Financially, they're well off. But they're there to tell you about the network marketing industry. But don't you think for one second that they're not there to tell you about their company in particular. Right? But now back to what Jesse was talking about and what I was talking about. What's after that? They're not telling you what is going to become of us after that, because let's say everybody may not join. But then what happens after every last one of you join and every last one of you become wealthy? What do we do now as a people? What do we do for our culture, our spirituality, our existence? Because whether you know it or not, man, You know, the powers that be today, man, they're trying to destroy our culture. Not just our culture, they're trying to destroy us as a people. And you got to keep in mind, right? Tyranny has existed since the beginning of our existence. What the president and his cabinet are doing right now, this was done during Egypt. This was done during Rome. This was done during Persia and what have you. So what happened, and we have to look no further than history. When all of these people's backs were pushed against the wall, they all devised a scheme, and it was underground, and they came together. And when they came together, they overthrew the oppressor. And then they went on to survive and started their own communities, started their own empires, and they moved forward. Don't get me wrong. The Romans just didn't wake up one day and say, hey, we want to start an empire. They were being oppressed. They were being oppressed. And then when they were oppressed, they all came together. And whoever was the leader of that movement became their emperor or their king or whatever it was at that time, right? So, but as soon as he got into power, he did well by the people, but he also did some crucial things to them too as well. But they lived well. And then those who wanted to take over and conquer them, they came in and they conquered them the whole bit. So you always have to have your defense in place. That's no different than what's happening to us right now. And we have to read the writing that's on the wall. And we have to just stop thinking that everything is about dollars and cents. Dollars and cents puts you in a position to safeguard yourself and to carry out your plan, to carry out your deed. And it can't be done just by a few of us. See, when you got a certain amount, man, people feel comfortable with attacking you. And that's physically. But after you become so big, after you become so strong as a nucleus and so powerful, now they have to strategize and they have to figure out other ways on how to beat you. And now they're going to try to do it with finesse. They're going to try to rock you to sleep and let you join in the whole 9 yards and become members and have you thinking that everything is hunky-dory. And then they do what they call the Civil Rights Act. And when you think the Civil Rights Act was done to help you, keep in mind all the Civil Rights Act is that these people are asking, can they be a part of us? When they really did not want you to be a part of them. So they figure that here's their narrative. They'll have you thinking that they're opening the doors and they're rolling out the red carpet to welcome you. That's how it appears. But every step you take towards them are going to have stipulations, and they're going to control the steps. And those were the rules. And each of those steps was used to keep you in confinement, to keep you in line. And many of us don't see it when it's right there before our eyes. But I can go on and on, it's just about my time. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to realize and understand the state that we're in. And we're going to have to make the changes. We're going to have to take that first step. So many of you that's interested in knowing more about Sonetquity Publishing Company and our wealth building program and what our end games are, inbox me and we can do a one-on-one and then we can try and bring on people gradually and make this thing grow. When we at our inception, we had lofty ideas. We thought everybody was just going to come rushing in because everybody's in need of finances. So we thought that everybody was going to rush in. It's just like a whole village is thirsty, and now there's no water, and then you deliver water. Well, you were looking for this line to be for miles and miles. But then when you come out and you see that the line is only a few feet, it's somewhat defeating. That's what happened with us with Sonetquity when we launched for the very first time. I felt a little bit of anxiety. I felt a little bit of discouragement. But I did not feel defeated because here I am. I knew that time was going to come around again. I knew that time was going to come around again. And then we'll be able to execute. So, for all of you that joined me this morning and joined us with Mr. Jesse Cage, I want to thank him again for coming on and sharing his thoughts with us. And we look forward to you coming on each time that we go live. But if there's a time that you want to contact me, DM me, inbox me, okay? And we can have a one-on-one. Or just request to come on board live, and we'll discuss everything. And if you have any questions or what have you, I'll try my best to answer them. And if you have any suggestions, we're open and we're willing to hear what it is that you have to say. What are your thoughts? Okay? So thank you guys for coming out, and I appreciate you. And y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Okay? Peace.